Welcome, cool teachers! Yes, to this Halloween-themed episode. This is going to be a different kind of episode for us today. And, one of the things that I love about teaching, and I've always loved about teaching, is that we get connected to the seasons in a way that a lot of other professions don't. I mean, we get some holidays off and things like that, but we decorate and we celebrate. It's really one of the coolest things
And teachers
ever.
usually get to dress up in school. There are a few schools where teachers can't dress up.
It's true.
Sorry.
It's true. Yeah.
Most teachers can dress up and have fun.
It's true. And
with their students, it's the one day they can have fun.
It's the one day. Yeah, they find other ways to have fun as well. But for those who are critical about celebrating Halloween, I just want to throw a couple of things out here for you. They don't like to celebrate our culture because it's not on the test, right? But
right.
We can still meet standards by doing what we're doing today, talking about creepy field trips. English language standard, for second and third grade includes recounting stories and fables, folklore, myths from diverse cultures, determining the central message, lesson, and moral, all of those things, right? So you see where I'm going here. Also, later in high school, something very similar in English language arts standards. Analyze a particular point of view or through a cultural experience and connect it with literature and history and some of those things. Well, I spent about 5 minutes just searching the internet and found tons of different ways that you can connect culture with a creepy field trip.
That sounds like a great idea. You could find a reason for just about anything.
That is exactly right. Now, people who want to complain will always complain, but you, cool teachers, can find a way to incorporate some pretty cool stuff. So let's give you our list of some creepy places that you can take some field trips, and then we're going to tell you how to find something even in your own area that you can actually take a field trip to, and it'd be perfectly themed for this Halloween season. All right, Barbara, what do we have first?
I'm going to start first. Okay, The Salem Witch Museum.
That's so creepy.
That sounds creepy to me. Travel back in time to the era of the Salem witch trials of the Massachusetts Bay Colony at the Salem Witch Museum. So every October they have this Salem Witch Museum going, and it's open year-round, but it gets really interesting, I guess, in October.
I would bet.
You could pair this with, of course, the Scarlet Letter.
Yes.
And all sorts of fun stuff.
The Crucible.
Oh, that's true. The Crucible, which is kind of based on the Scarlet Letter.
Harry Potter.
Leather.
We're reading Harry Potter in some schools now, which is great.
I think that is super.
As a choice of literature.
Right. So, the Salem Witch
Museum. Love it. Well, how about if you're in Europe? We do have some teachers across the pond.
They're not watching this, though, are
they?
No,
we have our one teacher across the pond. Thank you again for watching.
Thanks for watching.
But the European Scary at the Tower of London. So you can go to the Tower of London. It's had a lot of different roles over the years, and some of them a little bit spooky, dealing with tortures and some decapitations, right? And the most incidents of torture happened at the Tower of London during the Tudor period. So you can directly connect that with Shakespeare. A lot of the stories that he created and plays he created inspired by actual events at the time. Really, really cool stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in the description down below specifically about that tour if that's something that you want to take. What else?
Well, this is a place I would not like to go to because I do not like reptiles or snakes or anything like that. I mean, if I ever see a snake, I can levitate. I definitely can levitate.
Right.
But there's this reptile gardens on the road to Mount Rushmore, wherever the heck that is. Oh, I know where Mount Rushmore is.
Yes, you do. South Dakota.
And anyhow, it's called Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Well,
we'll have to have our... They can Google it. Forget it. Let our listeners or viewers do some of the work, for heaven's sakes. We can't do it all for you.
We can't do it all for you.
And so anyhow, there's a video you can watch, but it's called The Things That Go Bump in the Night. It's supposedly the world's largest collection of reptiles, including crocodiles, alligators, snakes, and tortoises. Did you know that alligators sleep with one eye open? Because I heard this on NPR the other day, because only half of their brain shuts down when they're sleeping. Isn't that creepy but wild?
That's kind of like me, only half of my brain ever fires up at any one time.
That's a good, maybe you're part crocodile or alligator or something like that. Okay, pick it up.
Right, sorry. almost all the theme parks, if you live in an area that's got a theme park, they're going to do something Halloween themed, and it's
I
a
know.
great thing to do. I used to take students to theme parks and give them very specific music assignments because I was a band teacher,
Oh,
and have them
that was
listen
fun.
for different. There are lots of ways that you can connect something that someone has created to your curriculum. You just have to be a little bit creative. But lots of theme parks, and one of them is the Universal Studios Haunted Halloween Horror Night. There's some links again in the description down below that you can check that out. But what a cool place that everybody dresses up. I went to Disneyland a couple years ago.
Right.
Now, this is not Universal Studios, but I went to Disneyland
And
a
the
couple years ago.
haunted house.
Well,
is
no,
so
but,
much
but
fun.
they changed everything into the this kind of Halloween theme. Again, not too scary, light Halloween theme. It was really
That sounds
cool.
like fun.
All right, what
The
else?
Haunted Hotels of Arkansas. If you live in the South,
Which is
apparently-
all of the hotels in Arkansas.
Right.
Just so you know,
They're all haunted.
they're all haunted.
And I guess that you can just, there's a whole bunch of haunted hotels that you could go to. And again, we'll have the links in our description. But it says if you're looking for a supernatural experience, a field trip to Arkansas may work for you.
All right, and they have recently opened the Paris Catacombs.
Would that be so much fun?
That would be so much fun. I mean, it's architectural, and in the month of October, it's just a little bit creepy.
And historical.
Mhm, very
What
historic.
a great place to take a field trip.
Yes.
The Paris Catacombs.
Very, very cool. Now, just something to point out here. Now, we're not pushing for any particular magazines, but I found this as we were preparing to shoot this thing. I found this awesome Life magazine, The World's Most Haunted Places, and started looking through them. And they've got buildings in the U.S. and Canada, South America, Europe, and they kind of tell the stories behind these. If you live in California, going on the Queen Mary, the most haunted ship, and of course every tourist site has, the reason to encourage you to visit them during Halloween. Their viewership goes up. But what we find, and when you take a look at this, and this I think was $12, $13 on the newsstand, might be fun to look through, is that there are some themes that exist in almost all of these places. And so you can find your own scary, spooky, haunted, fun field trip locations just by following a couple of the simple rules and maybe getting some ideas from here. So we thought we'd share those with you. First of all, you could tour old prisons. There are lots of old prisons and things like that. They are scary in a couple of senses. One, people were trapped there, right? They couldn't leave. Lots of people passed away there, and whenever you're in a place where people left this life for the next, especially in October, especially when it's cooler outside and there are leaves blowing and it's dark, those places
Well, we have
are
an
a little
old
bit
prison
creepier.
here. We have
We
an old
do.
prison here right in Boise, Idaho,
And-
and they have a special thing
Yeah.
at Halloween. It's
They do,
really
they
great,
do,
and
because
it's
it's
pretty creepy.
a great chance to get in and use those spaces and tour those spaces, and they welcome it, and they tell you all the scary stories and stuff like that. Also, historic buildings or hotels often have these stories. They've been around and populated by lots of people long enough that strange things have happened there, and it's that strange character that makes it.
How about having your students write a story?
Yes.
In fact, this latest show on NPR, no, it's not on NPR, it's on PBS, called Indian Summers. If you haven't started watching it, it's fabulous. Well, the guy who wrote the story got the idea from visiting an old hotel in India and looking at pictures of the people. So
Really?
see how those things
Oh,
can spark
I know the
that
one you're talking about.
creativity?
Mhm.
Just a visual can spark
And
that
that's about
creativity.
the kind of British aristocrats that go to this summer location
Up
to
in the
get
Himalayas,
yeah,
yes. Or you could say Himalayas.
Yeah, I was going to call you on that. That
Yeah,
was
right,
a funny
right.
way to say it. What about
Battle sites?
battle sites? Battle sites are always creepy. They just are. And they're historical. They're incredibly interesting, but they're really neat to visit around Halloween.
And of course,
Grave sites.
yes, the
Right?
cemetery.
Yes, the cemetery.
You can find so much history there.
So much history. Yeah. And
See when people died and when when what they died of.
and yeah, how are they collected in family groups? It's so interesting. Locations where there might be a lost civilization. Now, if you're on the east coast of the U.S., maybe Roanoke Island. If you are in the southwest, you can find a lot of the Anasazi ruins. There are lots of places where people used to be that aren't anymore, and that's always a little
I didn't
bit
even think
creepy.
about that.
Mhm.
And how about just turning off the lights.
That's right. Adding a little darkness makes everything creepier.
I get scared.
Oh, there it was.
The bell.
We gotta get out of here.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah, you have been. So tune in next time. We're going to talk about teacher costumes, different teacher costumes that you can wear on Halloween, if of course that's permitted. Remember to like and subscribe, and heck, share this. Let the other cool teachers in your building know what we're talking about. It's always cool to bring more people in.
Happy Halloween.
See you next time.